Do you hate your job, but you really find it hard to quit? Hi, I'm here. My name is Shatakshi, and I have been in situations where I was frustrated. I have cried. There were days when I didn't feel like waking up. There were days when I literally didn't want to do my job. And I have met people who have been in that arena. They did not have time to eat. They were on multiple calls next to each other, and they were just not motivated to work. So, if you are someone in that situation, I would highly advise you to watch till the end, because the entire process could be emotionally daunting. But at the same time, I would advise you to not get swayed by your emotion, because there is an entire science to how do you quit your job and how do you find a new one. So, with that, let's directly jump into three-step process through which you could learn how you should be handling this entire emotion. So, step number one that I want you to understand is you do not really need a motivation to quit your job. You need an action implementation roadmap to quit your job. Many a times people really hate their job, but the job is paying them a bomb. I was getting paid a bomb at BCG, and frankly, I was getting paid a bomb in for my role with Tony Blair in Dubai. I do not think I necessarily really hated my job, but I had other motivations because of which I had to leave those jobs. But largely, I wanted to land upon this point that even though your employer is paying you a bomb and it is becoming really hard for you to quit your job, because you are not sure where would your finances, where would you pay your rent, where would your food on the table come from, then you largely need a rational action implementation viewpoint, rather than just someone telling you that, hey, dude, why don't you put your papers down because you do not deserve this. I'm a huge believer of the fact that life is really short and you should be doing multitude of things. My father, I have maintained that just did government job throughout his life, and here am I just entering my 30s, and I have worn multiple hats, from a management consultant to an international affairs public policy consultant to a co-founder. And I have always realized that I am more than happy to wear multiple other hats as well. But that does not mean that I am ready to actually allow my emotions to take over my rationality and just put down papers. And hence, an action plan or a roadmap is always needed when you're thinking of putting down your papers. I would highly urge you. I've done this mistake with my first job, when I allowed my emotions to take over my rationality, and I just put down my paper without having any backup plan. So that's point number one for all of you. If you are someone in that situation, please understand you are not alone. We are undergoing a great resignation phase. So a lot of people are just tired of being on Zoom calls, tired of working non-stop. But at the same time, very few people will be rational enough to take care of themselves, take care of their finances, take care of their emotional well-being. Be that person who is rational. It is okay that emotions take place, but please do not take a decision emotionally. Which brings me to my point number two, that Shatakshi, we hear you that we should not take decisions emotionally, but how should we take decisions then? You need to understand, why do you really hate your job. For example, I hated my first job because of the people. I hated another job because of the work. I was not excited by the work. I know of a dear family member who hated her job because of the working hours. First and foremost, just really figure out the reason because of which you are struggling in your current job, right? Maximum or most of the time, it has to do with people, because people could really enhance or deteriorate your experience. Or it could be because of the time hours, or it could be that plain and simple, you do not enjoy the work that you do. For example, making presentations in BCG is not one of the most motivating work that I have ever done. Similarly, in other role as well. So that part of my job was not the most motivating part to me, right? Many times people do not like or enjoy travel. I remember when I was at BCG, almost after 5 months, I had a neck band because I was just traveling so much, and I requested that I want a non-travel case, which brings me towards my point number three. Why point number two is important is because many times people do not even want to solve for things. They just want to quit, right? That's when your emotions take over your rationality, and that's exactly the kind of solution that I don't want you to latch on to. What do I mean by that? I have actually sustained my tenure with employers just because I had the courageousness and I actually put my point in a very respectful fashion that I am enjoying 3 parts of my career here with you, but I am not able to appreciate, or I'm not really motivated to do X, right? Is there a way that we could solve for it? If you are working with good people, largely if you're in a good organization, your issues will be solved. Like I said, my first case, I had a neck pain because I was just traveling so much. My second and my third case didn't ask me to travel at all. I was based out of Delhi, and my client sites were based in Delhi as well. And that is what I mean. Please make sure that you just don't like the team that you are staffed in. Perhaps your division is not good, or your hours have been extended a lot. If you are dealing with someone rational, right, or if you're not even dealing with someone rational, you could reach out to HR. I'm sure there would be someone who can act as a sounding board and can help you when the help is needed. Please just do not put down your paper just because in the moment or for a phase you're not just feeling good. Which brings me towards the point that you could actually get a transition within the organization, right? You could be moved to a new team. You could be moved within the leadership of another boss, or your hours could be looked at as well. Which brings me towards the last point, which is around find a backup, have an alternative option before you put down your paper. Have an alternative option before you put down your paper. So if you've figured out what's really troubling you in your job and you've tried to solve for it, and the solution doesn't seem to be coming, at least in the short to medium term, then you figure out what are the other employers who could really provide you a job opportunity. I've been in that situation where I put down my paper with an employer because I was just really not happy working with him. But eventually what I realized was it took me 2 to 2.5 months, and that's my first job, where I was really frustrated. I felt that probably I took a very emotional decision. I should have created a backup plan, and then I should have left. Please do not do this mistake. Create an Excel list, figure out the employers or the organizations which are serving or which are actually creating good opportunities in the sector you are in. Find their job openings, get referrals. At GGI, we have helped more than 88% of GGI alumni get in management consulting, product management, and public policy through our Impact MBA and Scholars Fellows program. Shall you be interested? The link is in the description box. But otherwise as well, I want to make sure that you just do not you do not allow your emotions to take over your rationality and you take a poor decision that you eventually regret. A lot of us have been in this arena where we just could not enjoy the negative, toxic energy of a lot of other people. I've been there. I've hated my hours. I did not enjoy the kind of work I was doing. I'm also a huge believer of the fact that life is really short and you need to be living it holistically. But that does not mean that we take decisions irrationally. I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to comment if there is any other question that you may have around this topic. We are going through the Great Resignation, and I'm sure it's just not you, but I really hope people who are watching this video at least are the outliers who take a rational decision for their career benefit. Take care and stay safe. Bye. Subscribe right now so that you get notified every time, every day, whenever I'm putting up my videos on career advancement, personal finance, and lots of productivity hacks.